So Joey and Rory, I'm sure you've told a story. Joey and Rory, you've told a story. Get a pencil and piece of paper there.
Rory, one so Rory.
How did you meet and get together and you became man and wife and recording stars, TV stars together, parents?
Well, how we met is, I'm sure, much like a lot of people who have a dream of coming to Tennessee to chase your dreams of being a singer. And that's what I did. I moved here to be a singer. I didn't know anything about it, but I knew that everyone said, go to the Bluebird Cafe. That's where all the songwriters are. And I didn't know what a songwriter was. I didn't know you could make a living. I mean, that they were actual people who wrote songs. I came from a little town in Indiana that didn't, kind of lived in a little box. But I went, and there were 4 guys playing, and there was one guy that just ripped my heart out. And he had this spiky hair, and he wore overalls, and he was singing these songs, though, and telling these stories. And I knew nothing about him. I just knew that was the man I was going to spend the rest of my life with. And I just had to know more about him. And so as I sat and listened to his performance and his songs, a few songs later, he introduced his little girls to everybody in the crowd, and I was just sunk in my seat. And I said, all the good ones are gone. I just assumed he was married. And so 2 years go by, literally 2 years go by, and I go back working for the Horse Vet Clinic down in Thompson Station, Tennessee, and working on my music. I had a deal on Sony Records at the time. And in the meantime, though, I always remembered his name, and I thought, gosh, if there was ever a man, it would be the standard of who I met that night, who I saw perform that night. And 2 years passed, and I go to another writer's night through the advice of another person, and said, I said, well, who's playing? And he said, well, this guy named Rory Lee and Rory Feek. And I said, wait. I said, this is the guy who's got red spiky hair, wears overalls, and he sings a song about the chain of love. And he said, yeah, that's him. I said, if that man wasn't married, I'd marry him tomorrow. I met him when I first moved. I saw him perform when I first moved to town. And the guy said, well, he's not married. I said, well, he's got these 2 little girls. And he said, well, that doesn't mean he's married. And I said, well, I'm going. I got to go see who this guy is. And so I went that night, and all those feelings that I had that very first time I saw him came back to me. And I knew I was in trouble. And so that's kind of how we came about, as me seeing him. Then you can kind of fill in.
Well, we don't have enough time for all of it, but it's a great story. It's a great story that God's given us a great testimony, not just in how we came to faith, but how we came to have our love story and how it continues on. She showed up at a writer's night 2 years after she had seen me play. And basically, she just told me that I'm the person she's supposed to spend the rest of her life with. And that doesn't usually happen with me, I believe it or not, I don't get that a lot. And I didn't really believe it. And so some time went by, and I needed a sign. I remember when she wanted me and her to start spending time together and dating, and I said, God, you have to send me a sign. And I was really working on my character. Like Jimmy, I had sort of gone and said, I'm just going to work on me and trying to make me healthy and get closer to God. And after this couple of years, Joey showed up. And so I said, I need a sign if this is so unusual. And so I went to Joey's house, and we had written one song together. And that evening, I was asking her questions. I said, well, when did you start singing? And she said, well, my dad played guitar when I was young. And I said, well, my dad played guitar when I was young. I said, well, what kind of songs? And she said, well, my mom and dad sang songs. I don't know who wrote them or sang them. They were just songs they sang around the house. I said, my dad sang songs. I don't know who sang them. They were just songs he sang. I said, like what? And she picks up her guitar and she sings Jim Reeves' Have I Told You Lately That I Love You from the 1950s. And right then, my sister was with me, my sister Candy, and she just broke down crying and jumped out of the rocking chair, went in the bathroom. And I knew in that moment, that was my sign that we were supposed to be together, because my whole life, my dad really only knew about 10 songs, and that was his favorite song. And he sang it every day. And when he died in 1988, long before I met Joey, that was the song they sang at his funeral. And I'd been in Nashville 7 years, and no one had even mentioned that title. So it was so clear to me. So Joey and I got engaged 2 months later. We got married 2 months after that. And we were married for 5 years. And her career never happened. I was working as a songwriter, and she opened a restaurant with my sister. And so we went for 5 years and never sang ever together. We didn't know we were going to sing, but somehow Joey knew not just that we were going to be together, that there was something special going on. And so then we got cast on a television show together, and we somehow made it through that. And now it's 6 years later, and we're still singing together. And
Making great music.
And now, on top of it, we have a brand new baby together. My older daughters are 25 and 27 and doing fantastic. Joey came into their life when they were 13 and 15. I had been a single dad for about 12 years before that. And so Joey never wanted kids, ever wanted kids. Like that was her thing. But a couple of years ago, she just said, God has been so good to me. She said, how can I hold out and not give him all of me, all of my fears? So she said, I'm going to trust him and give him everything, my biggest fear. So she gets pregnant, and then in February we had a baby, and she's the happiest person because she's a mama. It's as life should be. I'm telling you, we got a good story, and we keep living it, and we're just so blessed to be in here in the midst of all these. Everybody here, TG, I never met him before, and for him to walk up and say, I'm a big fan of you guys, like, am I in the Twilight Zone here? Because we're such big fans of all of you all, and we're honored to be here, just be in your presence and just sit here. We take a seat back there behind the curtain and just look over to be here. And so we feel so blessed, and we love country music, and we love the music that you brought to us, that Ricky and Sharon, and every one of you is a memory for us that has brought us through our life. And I think with Joey and I, even with our television show, we just really want to be a little bit of a memory for someone else down the road, So.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt but what you will be. They give me a little sheet here before we do these various segments, and they put song titles down. But every time Joey and Rory's name comes up, it doesn't give a song title. It says TBA, which I guess is to be announced. So I never know what you guys are going to sing. Do you know?
To be decided by Joey right before we get there. That's what it means. Yeah, we know.
Have you decided, Joey?
She decided.
I think we decided. Yeah, we're good. I think so. Well, poor Terry Choke. He runs the department on getting songs and stuff. And what are you guys going to sing? And I'm like, I don't know, hon. What do you want to sing? We never have a set list. We never know really what we're going to do. But I just felt like this was kind of one of those appropriate songs to sing today. It's our daughter Heidi. I know most of y'all know who she is. As Rory mentioned, we weren't supposed to have a career together. And Rory wrote this song years and years and years ago with the hopes that maybe someone like Tim and Faith might record this song. Or y'all might record this song or something. Careers come and go. And we may not always be at the top, but we always have each other. And that's the most important thing. Amen. If tomorrow I woke up and this dream wasn't here, and if I walked out on the stage and no one began to cheer, if the spotlight that I'm in should fade, then disappear into the blue. And if our new songs on the charts all began to fall, and there is no more acclaim or gold records on the wall, and if no one wants to come and hear us sing at all, I'll sing for you. I'll sing for you in the kitchen while you strum your old guitar, like we did when times were tough and luck was hard.
Oh, we never ever dreamed we'd get this far. When the star that shines on me has packed its dust and gone and found somebody new to cast its magic on, and all that I have left is just this simple song I'll sing for you. I'll sing for you in the kitchen while you strum your old guitar, like we did when times were tough and luck was hard. Oh, we never ever dreamed we'd get this far. If tomorrow I woke up and this dream wasn't here, and if I walked out on the stage and no one began to cheer, if the spotlight that I'm in should fade then disappear, I'll sing for you.
That's beautiful. Joey and Rory and Heidi. That's terrific, guys. Thank you for sharing not only your music, but your hearts and your story. It's an inspiration to all of us, and we appreciate it very, very much.